Welcome back, Diecast OutKast here, episode 58. Today we're doing Time Rider 64 Impala build. This is for Memorial Day. There's a few of us doing the same car. Lee had about 5 or 6 of these cars sent to him, and he thought it would be fun for some builders to do a quick build off for Memorial Day. I was watching one of his videos, and he said, if you're interested in joining this, let me know, and I will send it to you. So I did, and I was one of the lucky guys that got to do it. There are so many different ways you could go with this car, and I thought and pondered and could not figure out exactly what I wanted to do. I thought maybe I could do a lowrider, maybe I could do the Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke car, I could do something original. In the end, I did something that I wanted to do, something that I thought would be fun. So let's get started. Off camera, I drilled and tapped the posts. I used a 256 tap and 256 Phillips head screws. The interior is fairly correct, so that's good. It comes with the tinted glass, which I don't use later on. And then there's the body. The proportions are right, but the rest of it isn't real cool. So I thought that I would go ahead and take some acetone and clean off all the decals on it and use the plain white for a base. I scrubbed and scrubbed with acetone on this. It took the decals off, but it left a really weird indentation, so that is not what I'm after. So let's strip it. We're gonna go ahead and dip this 6-4 in some hot as balls salsa. It's actually citrus strip. All I did was run this through some warm soapy water in the sink, and this is how it turned out. Nice and clean. This is a Scotch-Brite style wheel that you can get for a Dremel. It's a quick release, but I didn't have it on correctly. Damn, let's see that again in slow motion. Yep, my rotary tool is a 2-stroke. After using the different abrasive pads, it turned out real nice and smooth. I'm going to use this a whole lot more in the future. I really like how it turned out. This is with an SOS pad, Brillo pad, 4/0 steel wool. Now I'm going to use this cotton style attachment and use some Mother's metal polish. Polish it up, try to get this thing as nice and shiny as possible. I'm extremely pleased on how this turned out. So I decided to do a lowrider with some custom paint. I want to do something that will get close to mimicking if you did like a lace or something like that. So I got this fingernail decals that you can get off eBay and use them for a stencil. Also use some of this striping tape that you can use for fingernails as well. And then I primed it with some flat black from Rust-Oleum out of this rattle can. I let it dry a little bit and then went over it with some pearlized white from Createx. This is what it looked like unmasked, and then I painted the rest of it with some pearlized purple from Createx after masking off the center of the hood, trunk, and the top of the car. It's not perfect, but it was an experiment, so I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. So I wanted to seal it and add a little bit more to it. So I did a 2K urethane clear, added some purple ink to it to tint the clear, which makes kind of a candy look. I sprayed that over the whole body and gave the designs a little candy look to it, kind of a ghost look, but it still sticks out pretty well. I think it turned out fairly decent. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's not perfect, but whatever. Now get rid of these nasty white wheels and put some real riders on it. These wheels are fairly close to what we would call a 100-spoke Dayton. And did the details, cleared it a couple more times with a 2K urethane clear, and this is what the body looks like. I'm pretty happy with it. Turned out real shiny. Painted the interior white so it stand out a little bit. Did some details on the grills, the bumpers, the headlights, so on and so forth. Got a clear window to put it back in it that came out of a 64 Impala Hot Wheels Taxi, I believe. I'm going to pretend as if this cracker-ass cracker hillbilly from the NWA, which is actually Northwest Arkansas, moved to Compton, California, and wanted to start a car club with some of my heroes like Ice Cube and Eazy-E, who is also into the Impalas. Do something like this. Now we'll see what we started with. 1964 Impala. It is a Hot Wheels. Y'all, I'm having fun. I was born in the 80s. I'm a 90s guy, so I like a lot of the metal. I like alternative music. I also like the rap from the 80s to the mid 2000s. So I thought this would be fun to do, and I had a blast doing it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, like, and check out everybody else's builds. I'm sure that didn't do what I did, but we'll see what happens. This is the final result. I would have no problem taking this car and rolling down the street in my 6'4". Again, I want to thank Time Rider for sending this to me and having faith that I could do something with this car. He does a lot for this community, and it's very well appreciated. Thank you, Lee. I am very happy to be a part of this. You can catch me on YouTube, Instagram, and Snapchat.